Hi everyone, happy Friday. I know you guys are very excited for the weekend, but unfortunately here, those of us who live here in Florida are not very excited because we have a hurricane coming. So starting tomorrow at around 2 in the morning, we're going to start getting a ton of rain and, well, you know how that goes, so I don't have to tell you the rest of it. But anyway, tonight's video is for me to present to you my personal ratings with the Momentum S250, the amplifier that a lot of people love, aesthetically speaking, and I'm one of them, I must say. What I want to do is I want to basically go over the typical ratings that we already have talked about in the previous videos. You guys should check out my previous videos to understand what the grading system is, what are the ratings, what categories we have in place. All right, so guys, I thought about this review long and hard for a few days because I wanted to make it as objective as possible due to the fact that the price gap between the S250 and the Luxman or the Sim Audio, I mean, there is a substantial price gap of approximately $12,000 to $13,000, but 15 actually in the case of the Luxman 900U, if you want to be specific. But what I am trying to do here is to understand what else do you get for the extra money when you go from a Luxman 900U, for instance, at $15,000, or the Sim Audio at $18,000, right? Going for the $30,000 Momentum, what do you get? So that's the purpose of this video, is to give you guys an understanding and the clarity, of course, of what this amplifier brings to the table when you spend the extra money. Okay, so this amplifier, first category is the camp, as we call it. What camp? I am going to say this amp is in the sweet smooth camp, same category as basically the Luxman is. Okay, when it comes to resolution, I give this amplifier a 7.5. Okay, I have the Sim Audio 860 at 7. I have the Luxman at 7, and I have the Griffin at 8. I believe this amplifier falls right in the middle, dead smack in the middle of the other three amplifiers. When it comes to the resolution, this amplifier, in my opinion, is ahead of the Luxman and Sim Audio. The reason why is, guys, it has more ounces of detail. It just makes the minute details more apparent. The small bell and whistle that you may pick up on the Sim Audio and on the Luxman barely pick up. It's a faint thought. You pick it up rather easy with this amplifier. I believe this amplifier digs up just a little more behind the music than the Luxman or the Sim Audio do. It does. It finds extra information that might be in the Luxman, but it's not easy to hear it. It's not as easy to hear it. Okay, if that makes any sense. That's what I find this amplifier has in terms of the resolution. When it comes to bass control, again, I am going to go back to the ratings of the previous amplifiers. I gave the Sim Audio an 8, the Luxman a 6, the Griffin a Coliseum a 10. I'm going to give the Momentum a 7. I believe the Momentum, in my opinion, and it could be the power chord, I believe the Momentum is not lacking any bottom end. It has bass, and I am confident that if I were to invest in a better transparent power chord than the one that it comes with, the bass and the overall presentation will be even better. Probably as good as the 860A, if not better. Now, what I can say to you is that the bottom end is not at the level of the 860A, even if both of them are in stock power chords. I believe the 860A version 2 has more meat on the bones when it comes to the punch, when it comes to the muscle. Okay, but again, it could be just the power cord, guys, that this amplifier comes with. I believe that the 860 version 2 just has a lot more capacitance inside, and that allows it to just deliver more bass control than the Momentum. Now, there is something else too, guys, and this is my personal opinion. I want to say that whenever an amplifier falls within the sweet and smooth camp, usually, not all the time, but for the most part, guys, these amplifiers don't carry the same bass control as those that are in the neutral camp. Okay, they don't have the same attack when it comes to that punch and that visceral feeling. That's the best way to describe it, okay? And the reason for that is because I believe sweet sounding amplifiers just aren't tuned to sound that way. They're tuned more to, engage you. And part of the engagement has very little to do with how punchy it is and how crazy it can, throw down the music and the slam and the dynamics. It just really doesn't have to do with that. And I believe when it comes to bottom end control, the best bass I have ever experienced from amplifiers happen to be amps that are within the neutral camp. Okay? Clarity. I gave the Sim Audio a 7, Luxman a 7, Coliseum at 8, and this Momentum I gave it a 7.5. I believe this amplifier, when it comes to clarity, it just lifts yet another curtain out of the way between you and the speakers. It really just, there's one more layer of clarity that this amplifier delivers that I feel the Luxman and the Sim Audio fail to do. That's basically as simple as that. So, the next one is sweetness. So this would be only the Luxman, pertains only to the Luxman, which has a 7. I gave the Momentum an 8. I do believe the Momentum is an 8 when it comes to sweetness. Now, it is a little sweeter than the Luxman. But here's the thing though, I believe it does it with more finesse. It feels, in my opinion, as if the sweetness from this amplifier is just more polished with less imperfections. And if you're asking me, what do you mean, Jay, with less imperfections? What I mean is, for instance, the bass here is just better than the Luxman, which makes this sweetness a little more well-rounded. Does that make sense? This is why I rated an 8 and I gave this Luxman a 7, because I think it is just more complete when it comes to the bottom end. It rounds out the bass better than the Luxman does. Okay, and although you're saying, well, this is talking about the sweetness, yes, but I think sweetness in this scenario, best case scenario would be an amplifier that's sweet and that has a lot of bass, right? That would be awesome, right? That would be great. I feel like the Momentum adds a little more meat on the bones, even though it's a sweet amplifier, than the Luxman does. This is why I think it just scores higher on this particular category for me, because when you look at the entire presentation holistically, it does add more muscle, even though it is a sweet sounding amplifier. Next is speed. Sim Audio, when it comes to speed, I gave it a 6. The Luxman 900U, I gave it a 5. The Griffin has an 8. And I'm going to give the Momentum the same rating as the Luxman, a 5. When it comes to speed, I still believe Griffin is probably one of the fastest sounding solid state amplifiers I've ever owned. I don't believe the Momentum moves through the music as fast, even as fast as the Sim Audio does. I don't think it moves through the music as fast at the same speed. I probably would have never detected this if I had not brought the Element 118s in here. I believe the Element 118 is the amplifier that really lets me hear how fast sounding an amplifier can be. And so it's easy for me to go, and if you actually, as a matter of fact, if you guys go back to one of my previous videos, guys, you'll see the comparison. When I went from one amplifier to the other, you can almost pick up how much slower the Momentum is in comparison to the Element 118. And that's what I mean by speed. Okay, that's a perfect representation of what I'm saying. And I believe the momentum is just the same, basically the same speed as the Luxman. Next category, sound stage width and depth. Sim Audio here has an 8. The Luxman has a 7. The Coliseum has a 9. And I'm going to put the momentum with an 8, which is the same score as the 860 version 2. It's a very deep sounding amplifier. It's beautiful depth with a lot of layers. I'm going to say that it is very even throughout. Nothing is too tall, nothing is too wide. It really makes you feel like it zooms in on the music just perfectly. It doesn't overdo anything. It doesn't emphasize anything. Instruments don't seem larger than they are. Vocals don't sound bigger than they are. Okay. Detail. Sim Audio, I have it with an 8. Luxman 8. Coliseum 9. And I'm gonna give the momentum an 8, just like the Luxman and the Sim Audio. When it comes to detail, I think it just matches the Luxman in the 860 version 2. Now, I want to be clear though, this is specifically related to detail only. All the minute bits and pieces of information are here with this amplifier. The first category was resolution, but that encompasses a bunch of other things. Okay, it's not just detail. This category right here is just about detail, and I believe it is just as detailed as the Sim Audio or the Luxman. Aesthetics and construction. I gave the Sim Audio a 7 here. I gave the Luxman an 8, Coliseum an 8, and I had zero hesitation of giving the Momentum S250 a 10. I actually wish I could give it a 12. Guys, having owned over 300 amplifiers, I can tell you that there's nothing that I have ever owned that has been better looking than the Momentum stuff, ever. Okay? Nothing. In my journey, nothing has touched the Momentum stuff. Okay? It just look at it. I mean, it really does make you feel like you got a special component. You know, I really like what Dan and his team have done here. Even look at the preamp. I mean, it's incredible, guys. Just look. Just beautiful. I mean, everything is just precision. It's like a watch. You know, and that's obviously the preamplifier, but it's just really beautiful, guys. Everything, even the remote control and the Momentum stuff. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen it. The remote control and the Momentum stuff, look at it, it's like a block of metal. Okay, that's the remote for the preamplifier, Bluetooth. Block of metal. Okay, and it weighs a lot. It just feels like you're paying for something special. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say here. In my opinion, nothing has come through my room that looks better than that, than the Momentum. Okay, value for the money. The value for the money category is an interesting one because I have the Luxman as the best value for the money. I have the Luxman with a 9. I gave the Coliseum a 7, and I am giving the S250 a 7.5. And the last category, Jay's personal grade. Guys, this category is really my personal opinion, essentially, as far as how I view the amplifier overall. Okay, this is me saying, this is what I think of the amplifier. That's what this category means. Sim Audio has a 7. Luxman has an 8. Griffin Coliseum has a 9. And I'm giving the Momentum an 8.5. Why do I see an 8.5 and maybe not an 8? Why do I have it ahead of the Luxman? Guys, I gave the Luxman higher score on this particular category because of the value of the amplifier. It's cheaper than the Sim Audio. So for me, that wins points. It's cheaper. It's less money. It's reliable. It's beautiful. All that adds up and it allows me to give it a higher score. And I feel that the Dan Agostino takes it up a notch higher. It goes up just a little higher than the Luxman because it's obviously, aesthetically speaking, I find it more pleasant to the eye. You know, and it sounds beautiful. It's more refined. So for me, overall, holistically speaking, I rate it an 8.5. Now, the overall score now, I have the Momentum with the overall score of a 77, which scores higher than the Sim Audio at 73, Luxman at 72, and the Coliseum at 86. Now, what does that mean? Just to put it into perspective, guys, I did a little math, okay? What that means is the Momentum, what that means essentially is this. Give me a second. The Sim Audio is 95% of what the Momentum is. The Luxman is 94% of what the Momentum is. The Coliseum has a higher rating. So when I did the math, basically what I'm saying with the ratings is I am giving the S250 a 77, which means 89% of what a Coliseum is. So in my opinion, that's what that means. Those final grades, those final ratings mean that. When you divide them between each other, that's really what it's telling you. So you have an understanding of what each amplifier and in the totality of their scores really mean. I don't think anyone here listening to this review would ever be disappointed with a Momentum. I believe if people ever sell the Momentum stuff is because they're just, you know, like an audiophile itch. They're looking to try something else. But they really can't knock it for not sounding good or looking good. There isn't really anything to nitpick about. Really isn't. You know, it's more like I got bored. I'm ready to just hear something different. That's really the only reason why I feel a lot of people sell the Momentum stuff. No other reason. You know, or, you know, and obviously they want something else that's probably far more money and they want it to, you know, they may have, that probably is better, but it costs a hell of a lot more money. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Now you know my thoughts, my impressions on the S250. I believe the S250 is just it's a timeless amplifier when it comes to looks and sound. I don't think the sound will ever get obsolete. And looks, well, guys, I think that amplifier can sit here until the year 2030, and it's probably still going to look prettier than most amplifiers in the year 2030. Okay, I know some of you guys might be wondering right now, what the hell is under that Paslav's XA160.8, Jay? What do you have there, Jay? Tell us, please. What is that? I know you guys are like, what is there? All right, I'm not going to make you all wait. Let's see what's there. Let's see what's cooking. You guys ready? What's in there, Jay? What's right underneath that thing? All right. Nothing major. Some of you guys have been asking me for this, so this is the JC1 Plus monoblock. I'm waiting for the second one. Unfortunately, FedEx didn't deliver it yesterday, and I'm still waiting for it. So, JC1 Plus will be used with the 20.7 Maggies. Told you I was going to bring different amplifiers for this speaker, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm very excited. I already have the Hurricane Dragon connected to it. I'm going to do all the typical cabling that I use. Waiting for the second amplifier to get here, and then we're going to fire them up and put them through the motions. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Again, don't forget to send me your questions. I have gotten only a few questions. Email them to me, please. And then I will do a video maybe this weekend and answer all your questions, okay? Of anything you guys want to ask me, mix and matching, my opinion on certain components. I even answer some of those questions on the comment section. But please, if you have questions like that, just email them to me, and I will do my best to look at them and respond to them with my opinion, of course, of what I feel, you know, is the right answer to your questions. Thank you and good night.